All right.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Okay.
Okay, good. Hi everyone. Welcome back to our channel. We're here with another IB related video. In this video, we're talking about
our final IB grades.
Or our opinions about the final May 2020 IB grades.
We have heard that May 2020 has been a really horrible year for a lot of the IB students.
For everyone.
Yeah. Well, because of COVID and because of IB, you really can't tell which one's worse. I've heard from a lot of IB students that the most complaint is how many points that they have dropped from their original predicted grades. So we just thought it will be a good idea to make a video to wrap up our IB series.
Like, for example, if you're one of the students who have been dropped, you're not the only one. A lot of people are in the same shoes, so don't worry. I mean, I think the general trend this year has been if you have a high predicted, you, like if in the 40-ish, you're generally dropped about like into the high 30s. And then if you're barely getting your diploma, a lot of people didn't actually get it. They failed.
Really?
A lot of people in like the high 20s didn't get their diploma. But if you're like in the mid 30s, some people got moved up, some people got moved down. It's not like a big difference. So it just depends on where you are. Depends on the subject. I heard chemistry was a big one. Chemistry was big. A lot of people got dropped a lot. Like a lot of people getting 7s and 6s got dropped to like 4s and 5s.
Yeah, and I think there's also a lot of fluctuations with the extended essay and TOK grades. So yeah.
I feel like this is the time to say, like, this is definitely not a flex, but my extended essay was garbage, but it was moved up for no reason.
That is definitely a flex.
That's not a flex. It was just
no reason. Like, well, mine didn't change, but my... Wait, I don't know.
I don't know what you were predicting.
Yeah, so mine didn't change, so I can't really complain about anything, to be honest, even though my overall IB grades were affected in a negative way. But I can't be too salty about it comparatively to my other classmates and how much they're complaining. And also a lot of students are facing the problem of only missing 1 point to move up to a higher grade boundary. And this pissed off a lot of people because this means that they have to pay around $165 to get a remark. Yeah.
130? It depends.
Yeah. And you're not even guaranteed that your mark will increase, so.
And I think for us, we're lucky that our university offers aren't contingent on like a specific IB grade. I know for a lot of students, like especially in the UK, they need specific marks in certain grades in order to maintain their university offers. So if you're one of those students, we send you our condolences and I hope you good luck.
Yes. And also if you're interested, I bet you can find a lot of petitions going around on a lot of IB student forums and everything. So if you would like to make a change for the IB community, you can definitely sign up for it and make yourself feel better.
Yeah, and stand up for all IB students following us. And you know, good job. You make the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. I don't know how it goes. Whatever. Okay, we're going to the next part. First, I think we should talk a little bit about how the IB grades were generated for this year, even though that is the IBO secret. Nobody really knows how they were generated, but there's a pretty good article that talks about the model that they used, and then we'll put the link in this video so you can take a look at it yourself if you're interested. But basically, since there were no exams this year, they take the predicted grades that your teacher sent in as well as your IA grades and historical data pertaining to your school and your general area. So a lot of people that got a lower grade than their predicted, part of the issue isn't you, and it's because people in your school have been stupid. I can't put that in. I'm gonna cut that out.
It can be really debated whether this May exam cancellation is a good thing or bad thing. I guess for some students, the lucky ones who don't have their IB grades altered, you're really lucky. I guess the cancellation is a good thing to you since you get the same IB grades as you predicted and you don't even have to work hard for the exams. However, for me personally, I still think even though some students' grades might have dropped, I really enjoy the time of not studying for exam and staying at home and doing absolutely nothing. I think this is the best thing that could happen to IB students after 2 years of working super hard.
I mean, that's that's a personal opinion.
Yeah.
Well, this is our personal opinion. I remember everyone's so excited when the exams got canceled, but now it's like almost as if I wish I'd done them, because to prove that I can do actually better than what they give me, because I know if I'd done the exam, I would have definitely done better in chem, for example.
Oh yeah, that's true.
For at least one of them. But you know, that's the way the things are. The world isn't fair, but that's okay. And then what we can do is move on. And this year, IB supposedly outsourced their like statistic modeling algorithm to like another company or group. And so a lot of the grades are generated through an algorithm that is an algorithm, so therefore it's not particular to the individual cases of the student. So in that case, it's definitely not necessarily fair, but he's smelling your jacket.
And for the students who are wondering about the whole remark system, so if you really don't like your grade and you realize that your grade is only missing 1 point to move up to the next grade level, so what you can do is to talk to your IB coordinator. You can have that person to help you to remark your subject area. So what that means is that you just have to pay a very expensive fee and take the risk that your mark may not change and might actually drop in return. However, if you do succeed in the remark, I heard that you can get your money refunded. It's a big risk, but it's really like up to you to decide what you want to do. And also just keep in mind that if your grade is missing by
less than 3%.
Or like if you're missing like 3 points to move up to the next grade boundary, then I don't think it's worth it to get a remark, because chances are, even if your grade does increase, it only increased by 1 or 2 points, so you'll still stay in the same grade boundary and you just waste a lot of money. So for students who are missing 1 point, you can definitely demand a remark. You do have a bit of hope. And for 2 marks, you should like think about it before you
should
pick,
try.
Right?
Yeah, like if you're missing 1 or 2 percentile point, give it a try. I think there's a good chance, but I'm not gonna do it because it's expensive. They say IB is a non-profit organization, but you know, take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, maybe they're underfunded because of COVID or something.
So now they're scamming. I mean, they're forcefully extracting donations from students. So anyway, that's that.
Yes.
See, I bought this book. It's called Everything is Fucked, and it's a book about hope. I read so few. I read this much. And then it's called Newton's Law of Emotion. It's like one of those self-help books.
Yeah, so that's your intermission right there. So the next section of our video, we'll be talking about how we feel after we receive the final IB grades.
Underwhelming. That's the word that comes to mind. Underwhelming.
Disappointed.
Let down.
Yeah.
But like also a void of emotion. I don't really feel anything very strongly.
Surprisingly, I wasn't so upset or anything when I saw my IB grades, even though it was different from what I expected. I think I was just really glad that this whole process is finally done.
When I saw my grades, I was just gonna like, oh, okay, that's it. All right, cool. Even though what I want to talk about here, like this is in no way a weird flex. Okay, so don't look like me like that. The subjects where I was predicted a high mark in, I did bad in. Like I was predicted an A for TOK, I got a C, a fat C. It's all good. And then
C, like zoom in.
C for cool, you pass, but like that's it. But the subjects that I didn't do well in, like my EE, basically my supervisor told me that my EE was the worst in our cohort, which is fine. Didn't hurt my feelings, whatever. And also physics, I voiced multiple times, even on this channel, that I hate physics. I suck at physics, and it is hell and stupid. And my teacher told me that I suck at physics and told me that just don't give up. I was gonna get predicted a 5. Like my teacher gave me a 6 out of pity because I annoyed her a lot. And then I said I worked really hard, and as a young woman, I didn't say that, but like basically as a young woman in STEM, you gotta be motivated to work harder. But I got better in those subjects. I don't know what IB is on, but I'm not satisfied with these results, but also don't have enough care to really do anything about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think my overall emotion is really just a sense of relief that this process is done. I also feel a sense of relief because I guess it's a comparative psychology, because comparing to other students who really got like
dropped hard.
Yeah, like I actually feel quite lucky that my marks aren't affected as much. Plus my final IB grades still allow me to get the transfer credit for university, and I can still get to keep my offer with my current grade level. But also keep in mind that this year I think university might be more lenient about your IB grades because they know that it's not marked as they were in the previous year, so the process is not as prestigious or formal. Also because I think universities in general are just really busy with like COVID emergency response, so I really don't know how much energy they have to like care about anything else. So if you're really panicked, but just keep in mind if your university doesn't reach out to you individually, then you're definitely fine.
And especially if your offer condition is like maintain academic standing, even though you've dropped a couple of points, I think you're definitely not alone, and I don't think, especially this year, that it's going to be a big deal, and I think most of us will be fine. Let's hope that all of us are fine. And I think this year, even if your grades aren't as good as what you anticipated, I feel like it's not as big of a deal. Like, don't take it too hard, because even though you are assigned a grade, you didn't do anything to warrant like a drop in your grade, if that makes sense. Like this year, because there were no exams, so even if we got a final grade, it wasn't really based on our performance, and it was based on a lot of like historical data. So even if it was lower, part of me is like, oh well, sure, it's lower, but it's not because I messed up on an assignment that it was lower. So I'm that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't fair.
So
but
you don't
like, blame
blame yourself for anything.
Yeah, because it's not my fault. There is the global pandemic. That's not my fault, and so I'm just not taking it very personally. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you guys have any additional complaints or comments that you would like to talk about for your own IB grade, your IB experience, you can just comment down below.
Yeah.
Maybe start a thread. I'm sure there will be tons of people out there who have the same experience or even worse experience than you. So yeah.
And just like vent about it. But I think something like I want to end on is that like, I think instead of assigning a grade to everybody this year, especially like a percentage grade for a predicted grade that we weren't even predicted in the first place, I think to solve all these issues, we should have just gotten our diploma based on a pass-fail basis. Instead of getting a mark out of 45, that wasn't based on our own performance on tests. That was generated by an algorithm based on trends. Right? So like, I feel like it would have been a lot more fair if just like, did you get your diploma, yes or no? And if it was a yes, then you just get it and take your predicted grade or something instead. Yeah. I think that would have been a lot more fair to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's basically it.
Yes.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching. And this is the end of our IB journey, so farewell.
Yes. Okay. But if you have any questions related to IB, you can still ask us. We'll reply you in the comment. And if you have a question that we really like to talk about, then we'll make another video some other day.
Spin-off.
Yes.
And if you're someone who's going through the IB diploma program right now, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also let us know how that new curriculum is working out for you all.
Especially in math and English. They got let off easy. We had the harder one. They don't have options tests anymore. Can you imagine? Can you imagine
that you don't have paper 3 anymore? You don't have to worry about series and convergence tests and like the Maclaurin.
Okay, you don't really get to talk. You did fine. But for reference, on math paper 3 on our mocks, the class average was a 2, and there were people who got 2%. So 1 out of 50 on their test.
Yeah.
Basically,
it was hard.
Their name.
Yeah, but also people didn't really care. It was a mock exam, so.
Also, people just didn't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, bye.